Watching Sight Sounds Flavors on YouTube, sightsoundsflavors.com, exploringkentucky.com. We're here in Cave City, Kentucky. It's Saturday morning. Over here on the right we got the post office. The zip code here is 42127. Christmas is still in the air. And a lot of small hotels here in Cave City, I noticed. If anyone's from the area and wants to weigh in, Cave City's got a lot of tourist attractions, the caverns and such, and it's a rock's throw from Bowling Green, Kentucky's third largest city. But the hotels aren't like Howard Johnson's, or actually I haven't seen Howard Johnson's in forever. They're not like Hampton Inns or Comfort Inns. They're small mom and pop type, you know, motels, single story usually. And saw one was Wigwam Village, which was interesting. Another one was Cave City Motel. Another one was, I think, Country Inn or something like that. There's many of them. Ball card shop, it says there. Mike's. It's a pretty big building for a ball card shop. It's an interesting downtown. Reminds me a little bit of Bloomfield a little bit. Bloomfield's got a downtown that's got houses and businesses sort of side by side. Here you've got downtown, and then over here you've got houses. So it's an interesting little bit of mix. Everything's very clean, very orderly. Roads are very well kept, no big potholes or anything like that. This building here could maybe use a coat of paint, but it's not the end of the world or anything. It's just that building over there. I mean, it's old buildings, but this here, I kind of want to brush these rocks in a little bit. But again, I'm just nitpicking, you know. Beautiful tree right there. Don't know what kind of tree that is, but it's really, really nice. Got Cave City Pizza, Soul Stain Tattoo, Skill Games, Kentucky Skill Arcade. It's pretty cool. It sounds kind of like Jeopardy-esque or something. And it is Saturday morning, so most of these places will be closed. Beautiful home here. Again, I don't like to film homes, but when they're in the heart of downtown, I mean, what am I going to do? Cave City Cars and Coffee, every first Saturday of the month, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. presented by Smith Brothers Distributing Company. That's pretty cool. Historic Ace Theater. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. I mean, that's really cool. And again, of course, we are on the public right of way. This could be a church, I'm not sure. Look, we got a nice mural coming up here on the right. Love the layout of this building. Got a nice little gazebo over there. And the nice antique mall signage there on the wall. This might be the cover to the video. That's really nice. And of course that will be the cover to the video. A lot of antiques here in Cave City. We are currently on West Broadway and 2nd Street. Today I covered, actually want to check this out, it's pretty cool. Santa on the motorcycle. Today I've covered Bonnieville, Munfordville, now I'm in Cave City. Next up is going to be either Bowling Green or Glasgow. And that might be it for the day. Again, the goal is not to cover, saw that red pickup truck earlier. The goal is not to cover as much of Kentucky as quickly as possible, but to cover it and enjoy it. These buildings are super old looking. And there may be lofts upstairs. Landers Irish Public House. They're closed Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday 4 to 9 p.m, Friday and Saturday 4 p.m. to midnight, Sunday closed. So they don't have a lot of time open, so they got to make their money. Tuxedo Rental, that's me. What's up? I'm trying to slim down a little bit. Interesting. Structure unfit for human occupancy. Huh. Haven't seen one of those in, well, ever. I guess that's what you call a building that's been condemned. I don't know. 101 Broadway. Who knows the story about 101 Broadway? Please share, I'm curious. We're now on West Broadway and North 1st Street. Cave City and the Floyd Collins Trail. Got a nice little seated section there, and they got a little playground back there. And again, that unfit for human occupancy sign on this side of 101 Broadway. Over here you got an auction little store, and down there some other store. So Floyd Collins, a town built for opportunity, Cave City naturally became famous for a man who risked it all in search of fortune. In January 1925, one of the greatest news stories between the two world wars broke across the nation, with Cave City as its epicenter. Floyd Collins was trapped in Sand Cave. Collins, whose family owned the show cave called Great Crystal Cave, had gone searching for a cave closer along the road to Cave City. Finding a closer cave meant cutting off the competition in the local cave wars. His search found misfortune instead. While crawling through a narrow passage, his foot dislodged a stone that pinned his ankle where he could not reach it, and he lay trapped in cold and darkness. For 17 days the nation sat breathless as rescuers worked in difficult conditions. Charles Lindbergh flew dispatches about Collins across country. President Woodrow Wilson would ask, "How's that chap Collins doing today?" "Not well, Mr. President. On day 17, a shaft dug to reach Collins found him lifeless. He had succumbed to the elements, a victim of the same hopes and dreams that had built a city." Wow. Cave City raid. CSA, Confederate States of America, General John Hunt Morgan and a company of troops arrived here May 11th, 1862. They seized a train reported to be carrying some of Morgan's men captured by Lebanon, Tennessee. Instead, it carried railroad employees whom he released. Morgan burned the train, later detained a second one carrying passengers. Among them were 2 officers of the command of Colonel Frank Wolford, USA. We got Morgan's Cave City raid. General Joseph H. Lewis. General Joseph H. Lewis, Confederate Brigadier General, commanded famous Orphan Brigade in Civil War. In 1861, he conducted recruiting and training camp here. State Legislature 1850 to 54, 69 to 70. U.S. Congress 1870 to 73. Member of Kentucky Court of Appeals for 24 years, 1874 to 98. Its Chief Justice for 6 years. Born in Barron County, he is buried in Glasgow Cemetery. Very interesting. All right, folks. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little tour here of Cave City. Down there at the distance is a police officer. He's probably going to come and make contact with us. And across the street, police officer's actually got a headlight that's busted, which is ironic. We got the Antique Mall. And what else do we have? If anybody knows the story though about 101 Broadway though, I'd be very interested to hear about it, because this sign here is very, very strange. To have a structure that's unfit for human human occupancy is very, very weird. Especially given that there's businesses on the first 2 floors. I don't know, it's a little odd. So, we got the Cave City police officer there. And again, his front right headlight is out. So, that's not good. Not sure what unit that is, but hopefully somebody will let him know. He didn't make contact, but I'm also going in the opposite direction as him, so he may or may not, I don't know. I don't have a problem with officers making contact. It's totally fine. I've had really no issue doing this, except for, well, y'all know about Warsaw, Kentucky over there in Gallatin County. But they were super nice. And then Salyersville, that was a little weird, but also nice. Well, that'll do it, my friends, for Sight Sounds Flavors here on YouTube, sightsoundsflavors.com, exploringkentucky.com, here in Cave City, Kentucky. Hope you enjoyed, and by all means, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Anybody you want to tell me about 101 Broadway, it's definitely sparked my interest. And of course, anything else you might want to share. Also, those hotels. What's up with the hotels? A lot of those little hotels. Again, I know it's a tourist attraction, but what up on the hotels? Anything you guys want to share? I live for it. Any details, any buildings I might have not focused on, or especially any of the Civil War history, which I find to be fascinating, as well as the cave accident. Had no idea about that at all. And be honest with you, if my tone changed a little bit while I was reading it, it was because I was expecting, especially when I saw, you know, Lindbergh and President Wilson and national attention and, you know, all these folks trying to help that poor man, I was expecting a happy ending. But life's not always fair. So sometimes it isn't a happy ending, and it was very sad. And that's almost 100 years ago, and it's still sad to this very day. So, but that's again, I'm exploring Kentucky with a video camera, but you know, getting into a cave is a different form of exploration as well. A lot more dangerous, but that's what progress requires sometimes, you know? So, a tragedy, but here 100 years later we're reading about him and his courage, or his, at the very least, his misfortune.